In January 1986, we were horrified as we watched the Challenger space shuttle disintegrate into mid-air, killing all 7 crew members. In April 1986, a reactor at Chernobyl, a nuclear power plant in Ukraine, exploded. This was the worst nuclear power plant disaster in history, killing thousands of people and still affecting the region today. In March 1989, Exxon Valdez, a supertanker, ran aground at the Prince William Sound in Alaska. It spilled 258,000 barrels of crude oil into the Bering Sea, damaged wildlife and the environment extensively. The cleanup cost for this effort was $3 billion. In addition to causing tragic loss of human life and costing billions of dollars, what do all 3 of these events have in common? All of these were caused by someone who was sleep deprived. In a recent report by the Presidential Commission on the Space Shuttle Challenger accident, it was cited that human error and poor judgment related to sleep loss and shift work during the early hours was a major factor. Quality control was compromised, which produced the O-ring problem. The International Atomic Energy Association officially acknowledges that Chernobyl began at 1:23 in the morning and resulted because of human error. The engineers at work there had been there for 13 hours or more and missed important signals on the control panel due to fatigue. According to the National Transportation and Safety Board, the 3rd mate that was running the Exxon Valdez probably had very little sleep the night before and was mentally and physically exhausted. He failed to respond to simple, clear signals to turn the ship back into the shipping lanes. In today's society, operating on minimal amounts of sleep tends to be the norm and not the exception. We like to think that we're invincible and that we can sleep when we're dead, but the consequences of lack of sleep can be very severe for us. As a non-traditional student, juggling school and family life, it's a struggle for me to make sleep a priority. My normal routine is after I put my son to bed, I put on a pot of coffee and start my homework around 9 o'clock in the evening. Sometimes I don't finish until 2 o'clock in the morning. After noticing a decrease in productivity and an increase in doctor's office visits, I started to do a little research and investigation on the importance of sleep. I found some very interesting information. Lack of sleep affects the your work and your school performance. It also impairs your ability to operate a vehicle. Studies have also shown that chronic sleep can be linked to obesity and weight gain. And finally, chronic sleep deprivation can wreak havoc on your immune system and make you less able to fight off normal illnesses like the flu and the cold. Today I would like to share with you why the proper amounts of sleep are necessary, discuss ways to ensure that we are getting the proper amounts of sleep in today's busy world, and also encourage you to consider adequate sleep a priority in your life. As we can see in the examples we discussed earlier, sleep can affect a person at work and at school. Productivity and alertness decrease, and in addition to that, crankiness and irritability can make it difficult for you to relate to your coworkers. No one likes to deal with a grouch. According to an article by the Journal of Occupational Environmental Medicine, when a person habitually functions with a sleep deficit, memory systems and frontal lobe function markedly suffer. Memory systems impairments are self-explanatory. However, I found it interesting that the frontal lobe of your brain is responsible for comprehension. It's responsible for creativity, problem solving, and planning, and also your verbal ability. That all-night cramming session for a test could probably backfire on you. And needless to say, at work, decreased productivity in the current work market could result in loss of a job. These are all reasons to come to work or school well rested. Fatigue can also impair your ability to drive a vehicle. According to the same article in Occupational Environmental Medicine, after 19 plus hours without sleep, people performed on a cognitive test equivalent to a blood alcohol level of 0.1%. In most states, this is grounds for a DUI arrest. The normal level where you are considered legally drunk is 0.08. So, what this means is basically, if you are sleep deprived, you are not functioning enough to legally drive a car. Surprisingly, studies linking sleep to weight gain have also been done, and obesity. This doesn't mean that by sleeping 20 hours you are automatically going to lose 20 pounds, but according to WebMD, a trusted medical information site, scientists believe that a decrease in sleep results in a decreased production of leptin. Leptin is the hormone that makes you feel full after you eat. Without leptin, people tend to overeat, particularly carbs, and this leads to obesity and weight gain. This gentleman apparently needs some sleep. Finally, compromising on sleep adversely affects your immune system. The old adage, "I'm sick and tired," actually has a grain of truth to it. Your body's natural killer cells stop functioning when sleep deprivation increases. It makes you susceptible to the flu, the cold, and other common illnesses that you would normally be able to fight off. Physiologist Dr. James Kruger at the University of Tennessee has done a great deal of research on the link to sleep and illness, and he's also found a link between the development of diabetes and heart disease and chronic sleep deprivation. So, how much sleep should we get at night, and how should we ensure that we are getting that amount? The National Sleep Foundation recommends that we get 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night for an average adult. For students, you should get closer to 9 if possible. How do we make sure that we are getting that amount of sleep? Here are some tips from their website. The first is to maintain a normal bedtime schedule. Even when it's tempting to sleep in on the weekend, you really should not do that. Your body has a normal rhythm, and when that rhythm is maintained, you are less likely to toss and turn during the night and get more sound sleep. Second thing is you should create a comfortable environment for sleeping. Make sure that you have a comfortable mattress and pillow, and the best environment for sleeping is a cool, dark, quiet place. The next thing is you should finish eating early. Try to eat your meal 2 to 3 hours prior to bedtime at least, and also avoid caffeine. This eliminates problems such as indigestion and heartburn, which can prevent sound sleep and keep you awake at night. And of course, caffeine also keeps you awake, so you need to avoid that. The final thing that you should do to get a good night's sleep is to employ exercise somewhere into your daily routine. Exercise promotes sounder sleep as long as you don't do it close to bedtime. It does actually increase your body temperature, so if it's too close to bedtime, then it will keep you awake. However, a brisk walk after dinner gives your body plenty of time to cool down, and that decrease in body temperature is what signals sleep onset. So, sleep is more than a luxury, it is a necessity for normal functioning. I hope that each one of you will consider the importance of sleep and make room in your schedule for your 7 to 9 hours. I think you might be surprised with the results.